Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Irvin and I'm here to discuss the 5 interesting stories that I'm following this week in Formula 1. And let me know your own interesting stories and the things that you're following in the comments down below. Will be interesting for me to see. As you can see, I have the 2 flags of the 2 teams that I support, and we're in the McLaren Cup today. Let's see how they do this weekend. So let's go through the 5 stories and see what you think. So the first story, of course, is the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix happening this weekend at the Imola racetrack in Italy. That's going to be quite interesting. Remember last year, Hamilton won the race, and then Ricciardo got second place, and everyone remembers because then when they were at the podium, remember that Ricciardo, he drank some champagne from his boot, and then Lewis Hamilton drank from it too, and the pictures were all over the internet the next day. So it was a good race last year. I'm expecting great things this year because the field is very competitive like no other year, I think. And I'm looking forward to that. It's the second race of the season, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's the number 1 story I'm following this week. So the second story I'm following is obviously the rivalry between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. You remember the race, the last race in Bahrain? It was such a close finish. I thought Verstappen was gonna win at the end, and it wasn't the case. And actually I was rooting for him. I think, like I said in the previous video, for me he's the best driver in the field. He might not have the best car, but this year he's got a very competitive car, and I think it's going to be so interesting. So I think everyone is now wanting to see if there's a repeat of what happened in Bahrain, if that competition continues, or if there's other players that get through in the first the top 3. So to me, that's probably the second big story for me over the weekend. So the next story I'm following very closely this week is George Russell performance with Williams. You might remember that in the Bahrain race 2 weeks ago, he had some issues with the windy conditions and the back of the car. It was not really stable, and that's an issue that also impacted Mercedes. The interesting thing here is that they can't go back to the drawing board and redesign it, so it's locked in. But in Imola, I think conditions are different. The weather is going to be different, not as windy, and the corners are designed for high speed. And I think that's going to make a different set of scenarios for Mercedes and Williams. And the other thing is that the track is surrounded by trees, and there's buildings, so it's quite isolated from windy conditions. So I should see Williams doing a better performance than 2 weeks ago, and then this can also help Mercedes in their competition against Red Bull. So that's gonna be quite interesting to watch on Sunday. So let's watch out for that. So the fourth story I'm quite interested in this week is what was announced, that Nico Hulkenberg was announced as the reserve driver for Aston Martin. So I don't know what that means. I think Aston Martin is looking at different options, but I think the pressure is on Sebastian Vettel to really perform and prove that his money's worth. So I think the pressure is on him most than anybody after the performance in Bahrain. And Nico is a great driver. I've always been a fan. And who knows what could happen, right? So another bad performance for Vettel, this could change things quite rapidly. So we need to watch out for that. That's going to be an interesting storyline. So the fifth story I'm watching this week is Yuki Tsunoda, the Japanese driver. He did so well in Bahrain. People were very impressed with AlphaTauri. And, you know, if you ask me, the pressure is now more on Checo Perez, on Red Bull. He needs to perform well. He did very well in the last race. I think he was one of the most spectacular drivers out there as he came back from the back of the grid and with a great finish. But obviously he's on a lot of pressure because Yuki is performing really well, and you know, Red Bull can make a decision any point during the season to upgrade Yuki into the big team. So pressure on Checo to perform. I'm a big fan, like I said in the last vlog, so I hope he does. But the Japanese driver, I think it's going to be an interesting story all year, and I can't wait to see what he does during the race this weekend. So those were the 5 stories, but then there's a bonus one I've been enjoying a little bit, if I'm honest. The Nikita Mazepin memes that have been published over the last 2 weeks. A little bit of bullying, I would say, but it's a bit of fun. After he couldn't finish even one lap during the first race of the season, and I'm gonna show you some of the memes now. They're quite funny, by the way, and I've been enjoying them for the last 2 weeks, and I hope he does better, honestly. I don't have anything against him, but people are gonna be watching and see if they can still make fun of him. So that's a bit of a funny story, but I thought, you know, it was bound to be. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys, and I hope you subscribe and watch out for more vlogs about Formula 1 in the coming weeks, and hope we enjoy the race on Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.